He was England's greatest match winner. But inside the dressing room, he was a nightmare. Teammates didn't trust him, captains couldn't control him, and eventually, England made a decision no one would have expected. They decided to get rid of him. The story doesn't begin in England, it begins in South Africa. Born in South Africa, KP didn't get enough chances there. He was sick of the system and therefore decided to move to England to pursue a career in professional cricket. He wasn't supposed to be there, and that's probably where the problem began. There was always this identity conflict. Outsider was the system. Then everything changed. The 2005 Ashes take place. KP is everywhere. Everybody's talking about Kevin Pietersen. The kind of impact he created, his swagger, his outrageous shots, audacious reverse sweeps, switch hits, and maybe a little bit of arrogance. But it all worked in his and his side's favour. Because in that series, he didn't just score runs, he dominated the Aussie bowlers. The shots he played were shots cricket had never seen before. England had found something rare, a player who could win you matches all alone, who was the next big thing in international cricket. But greatness has always come at a cost, right? There were frequent clashes with the management. It was always ego versus authority. Because somewhere, KP didn't just want to play, he wanted control. And then, something happened behind the scenes. Something that would change everything. In 2012, Kevin Pietersen sent a text message criticizing his own teammates. Not to his captain, not to his coach, but to the opposition. Yes, these messages were sent to the South African camp. And just like that, England's biggest hero became their biggest problem. As a result, he was dropped from the team, there was public backlash, and there was a media war, a media trial on him. Honestly, fans were confused. How could you drop your best player? But inside the dressing room, the answer was very clear. They just didn't trust him anymore. And somebody you don't trust, you don't want him in your side, right? You'd rather play with a player slightly lesser in talent but more committed and loyal to the team than somebody you just can't trust, regardless of how talented he may be. Then comes the 2013-14 Ashes. The England side completely collapses in Australia. The Australian side is all over them, Mitchell Johnson is ruling over the Ashes and the entire cricketing world, to be frank. But one man still stood tall. One man resisted the attacks of the Australian side. It was KP, Kevin Pietersen.
That's a cracker. The KP still there for England.
Down the ground, threw it off, good shot. Along the ground all the way.
Not with a full toss. That is a gift, and Kevin Pietersen's landed it in this. That's short and pounded. Smash again.
Well played, Kevin.
Now England of course lost the series badly, whitewashed 5-0. What happened next will shock you, because at that time it shocked the entire world. They sacked Kevin Pietersen. Not their worst player, but their best player. And just like that, one of England's greatest match winners was gone. So what was Kevin Pietersen really? Was he a genius, or was he a problem that England just couldn't solve? Well, maybe he was both.